That was weird.
Okay, we are officially recording. I know you like their little robot voice. So we are
Hmm.
officially recording. I and Peg, it is Tuesday training with the Sunflower Crew, and my husband is home with groceries. So my dogs say hello to everybody. Tonight, Patty is going to cover onboarding for the newbies, and I'm going to put myself on mute so that you don't hear the stereo in the background. Go, Patty, go.
Yay. All right. So tonight, I'm going to explain what I do with my team as far as onboarding is concerned. Basically, as soon as someone would sign up to join Scentsy, I let them know that they're going to be receiving their emails. And then as soon as they're finished filling out all of their information that they're to contact me, and then I set up a Zoom with them. What I do with the Zoom, I'm going to actually just do it like I would do it if you were someone that just signed up under me and I was doing the initial onboarding with. So I'm going to share my screen and we start right with the workstation. So of course we're going to sign into that. I know a lot of people that have been with Scentsy for a while don't have or don't really know how new people's homepage looks like. But what they have is they have about 5 videos that have to be watched, and that would be like right here. So that's the first thing that I tell them that they have to do. You need to watch those 5 videos. There's little buttons that you would slide over once they're completed. They need to be completed in order to hit the different goals. Like if they wanted to hit shooting star or sensational start, all of those videos need to be watched and marked that they were watched in order for them to achieve the certificates and the product credits and everything else. So that's the first thing I go over. The next thing that I will do is I will tell them, they have 2 circles where we have, I guess, 3, unless depending on where your title is. But they will have a circle up here and they'll have a circle right below it. So the first circle is for shooting star. It will have a 500 at the top. And I don't really get too much into shooting star or sensational start at this point. I just say, your ultimate goal is to be active every month, which is 200 PRV, and that's what you should try to do. And then we will talk about that, shooting star and sensational start as we go along after you get everything started. So, what I want to do is teach them how to create a launch party. So, I tell them to hit orders. We're going to go into create a party. Of course, we're going to do launch party. Now, while I'm doing this, I will, you know, walk them right through it as we're doing it, tell them what to do. Hit the consultant as host, save and continue. For over here, we make the title launch party. And then when we get to the body of it, I will tell them that they can pretty much write whatever they want. If they want to write, welcome to my new Scentsy business, you know, thank you for supporting me, whatever they want to write that makes it personal to them. I try to encourage them to use their own wording with that. Then we hit next. I do tell them to use the default at this point because most people that are just starting don't have the 500 pictures that we have on our devices. So we'll hit next with that. We'll hit next with the products. And then the end date, I tell them to take it out about 70 days. So June, July, August. Well, this would probably be like September something. And then we hit continue. So with this, I do let them know that this is the link to their launch party, but I don't tell them to copy the link or anything like that at this point. Um, I then have them go back to dashboard home and I will tell them to find where they see my name at, where your sponsor, director, and everything is. This is how I show them to go to their personal website. I will tell them to find their name here, find my parties, so that they know this is where their launch party is. Excuse me. I know at the end now, when you're checking out, they did add it where you can connect or attach to your parties. But I really want them to understand the importance of this because even now I have consultants that have had issues, new ones, where they placed it through their PWS and never attached it to a party. So this way they know it is attached, even though that option will still come up when they're checking out. But especially for the new ones, because um, they will not get their credits now. There's not even a courtesy or anything like that for them to attach the credits. This way they know they're there. If they're placing the order, they know how to use the links to paste in their group from this page. They can copy and paste right there. That link will take their customers right to their launch party. So I explained that to them all. I also explained, like, if they, wanted to do a picture of a certain warmer, they can use that link for that warmer and it will still be in their launch party. They just have to copy and paste right up here. We then go back to the dashboard and I will tell them the two most important tabs besides the order tab. Number one will be your news tab. Sorry. As soon as you get into your news tab, this big box will be your best friend as far as customers are concerned. If a customer sees something is out of stock, you're able to go right here. You can look up whatever it may be, and you have the information to give your customer when that product will be back in stock. This way, you feel more confident. You're able to answer your customers' questions, and your customer has an idea as to when whatever they want will be available. I do tell them to check the news tab every day, that there's always something on here that we need to know about, whether it be the truck t-shirts that came out last week, or that they're going to be emailing our customers about something, about new launches that are coming out. So the news tab is something that I want them to get in the habit of checking every single day. Morning, night, whatever works for them, but just check it. And then the marketing tab. The marketing tab is where they can find a picture for any product that they need. Because if they're not comfortable with going online and searching for better pictures, at least this way they can bring up, copy and paste it, save it to their device, and use that picture on their new group page. Now, what I found by doing this is I feel like my team has a better understanding of what they need to know, the basics, the very basics. With that, they feel more comfortable in asking questions because they can direct their questions to a specific topic. Like, okay, how do you do that order again? Or what was that about attaching a party? Where they're not just not knowing anything about what they're talking about and they don't know how to ask the questions and then they get lost in between the cracks. So anyone that I've signed up, I've done this with. I've also done it as a group, and I've done it with newer people that I've signed up that have signed people up that didn't feel comfortable doing it. Like with that consultant that I signed up and the person they signed up as a three, person thing. What happens with this is that gets transferred by generation. I now have 5 generations on my team. And every single person that has done this, I hope, does it with the people that they sign up. The results of my team are amazing. So I'm assuming that that is happening and this system is being followed. Now, another thing that I've started now that the team has grown is I am doing bi-weekly training, just like this kind of thing. But I started with the basics. I started with like just like compensation, or tomorrow actually we're doing promotions and different things that you need as far as how you can get to be certified or lead. And I'm not taking it all the way up to director. I'm keeping it where our group is, because sometimes too much information all at once is overwhelming, just as much as lack of information is detrimental to their success. And really, if they're successful, we're successful, because everything that they do, it doesn't matter what generation they are, we're getting paid on them. You like their numbers go into our front lines numbers, and we get paid on every single person. So not only do I love the fact that I can watch someone be successful and it makes me feel great and they get excited about it, which makes me more excited, but every month I'm getting paid on that person. So why would I not want to put my time in someone that would want to listen to me and learn from me? So that's the basics. I mean, any questions or
Yeah, Patty,
I,
do you go through anything as far as like talking to them about how much they're going to make or do anything with like closing out the party? You don't address any of that stuff. You just stick to the basics of getting your launch party started.
I stick to the basics of getting launch party started. I do tell them, if in case they didn't know, or I'll say, did your sponsor tell you, you start out making the 20%. Once you hit certified, which means you have 1,000 in lifetime PRV, that goes up to 25%. I don't want them to feel overwhelmed. I don't want them to think like, okay, so now I got to remember this and remember this. Right now, when you go into this, like, and I go back to my first days, I needed to know basic things. I needed to know how to create a party. I needed to know where to find out information that I needed. I needed to find pictures for my group page on Facebook to be active. I had to show them what products we had. I didn't know how to, I mean, I could have, I guess, but I didn't think about searching the pictures that you can find. For them to be right at my fingertips made everything easy. And that's what I want to do. I want their first week for them to be comfortable with going on their news tab, finding out pictures, checking their, their little circles. Then I will, like, okay, so our next step is this. If they get to 200, hey, we're getting close to shooting star, and this is what shooting star is. And then I pass that down to my leaders to do with their teams.
Okay, so you don't really talk about your first goal is shooting star. Like usually that's what I do. I start with, your first goal is sell 500 and, in 2 weeks with your launch party and, earn the shooting star. You
No,
don't talk about
I bring up shooting star once they hit 200.
Okay.
so do you not think like the first things first checklist kind of walks them through that stuff?
I don't think I personally walked through that and knew nothing when I was done. I mean, I think some of it was beneficial, but to actually go on and do it with someone and do it while they're doing it, like setting up their party and things like that. I think that hands-on is always better. And I mean, that's just my opinion, but that's what has worked for my team. I could watch 100 YouTube videos. I could watch one YouTube video. I could watch one of those videos and remember part of that information. But if I actually do it, it comes back to me much easier. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that makes sense.
Can I just add something in there?
Mhm.
So Patty's my sponsor. And when she taught me the ropes, of course didn't even know what I was doing and I was like lost. But she's a great leader because I was inboxing her like so many times that I actually was like, I'm so sorry that I keep bothering you. But she kept taking me through the process, because then I made a launch party, and then when I went to go on again, then I made another launch party. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But she walked me through everything. She answered all my questions. And then the first full month that I started, because I started the end of February. So when I started the month of March, I did pretty well. And I think I did like 1,800, I think, Patty, or like almost 2,000. But Patty never said anything about trying to make the 2,000 mark. And she told me the following month where she was like, if you would have hit 2,000, you would have gotten 30%. But she said, I didn't want to put pressure on you. So it was good in a way. Sorry. It was good in a way because you don't like, I didn't feel like, oh, because I on my page, I like to kind of make it like, hey, come and buy something if you want to, you don't have to. So it was good that she didn't bring it up to me, because then I probably would have been like more pressured to make people buy something from me, if that makes sense.
Mhm. It's good.
I think
Honestly,
too,
Patty, you know what? My thought process with this is the way that you're doing it is when I think about it from a perspective of a new person, if I'm talking to them and saying, hit 500 and they don't hit 500, I'm automatically starting them out with feeling like they failed.
mhm,
So by doing it where
exactly.
you don't say anything about what the goals are and you just say, okay, we're going to set up your launch party and let it go. And then when they hit 200, you're celebrating it and saying, oh, but guess what? If you do this, this is what you'll earn. You know what I mean? You wait until they hit that. So then you're celebrating each accomplishment instead of saying, this is your goal. And if you don't meet it, then it makes them feel like a failure.
Exactly, exactly. And that's exactly how I feel about it. Exactly what you said. And I also think a lot of it has to do with the individual person. Like Anne Marie is the prime example. She did amazing from day one, but still was nervous about things and still didn't feel that confidence. And like she said, I could have said to her, 200 more. And I mean, if she was going to Disney, it would have been a different situation. But for her first month, she hit 1800. Like, that's amazing. For me to say to her, for 200 more, you're going to get an extra 5%. Okay, why do I have to do that? She just hit 1800 in a month, her first month. Like, I'm going to scream it out on top of the balconies. I'm going to make her feel that confidence and realize how great of a job she did with that. And then the next month, I also think too, you have to feel up personalities. If you have someone that comes in that's super, super confident and is just like, tell me everything, tell them.
Yeah.
If you
that's
have
bad.
someone, right, if you have someone that needs more time, more encouragement, more, don't pressure them, because that pressure is just as bad as not knowing anything. In my opinion. Sorry, I don't mean to say it, but anything else? Anybody? No? Okay.
Kelly,
Shortest
go ahead.
meeting in history.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Kelly, you had your hand raised earlier. You're muted.
I couldn't find you. I lost you for a minute. I have my new girl that signed up, and I messaged last night in that she is going through her steps, and she goes, I did all my videos. She set up her Facebook page. She set up her launch party. In there was something. Oh, she posted like on her page that she's a Scentsy consultant and all this stuff. So now I'm going to get with her probably tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. No, what is today? Tuesday? Probably Thursday or Friday. And get her, like, make sure she knows exactly what to do, like what Patty said. So that's what I'm going to do after, because I like that, because it walks you through every single step.
Mhm. And it really, I mean, you saw how long it took me.
Right.
I mean, if we are
And that's,
going to sign
that's
people up,
nothing.
I'm sorry, I mean, like, this is just how I feel. If I'm going to sign someone up, I want to make sure that they have every opportunity for success.
Right.
And when I first started, I did not do this, and they all sit at the bottom of my team page with 0, 0, 0, 0. Once I started this, it was like, and I'm not saying that still doesn't happen now. I mean, occasionally it does, but the majority of the people are all doing excellent. Like, most of them are active. I mean, my numbers are great, I think. I mean, I'm not comparing to anybody else, but for me, my team numbers, I feel like my team is very, very successful, so
Yeah, I think this is good, Patty. I mean, the way that I've been approaching it is sort of, I want them to know what the goals are, tell them these aren't requirements, but these are goals for you to hit this. And maybe that kind of scares people away, you know, instead of just like, you know, just set them up to get their launch party started and get active. I feel like I don't want them to miss out on Shooting Star. So I really talk about Shooting Star. And I guess that can be, you know, really intimidating. What do you think? Yeah.
The first things first checklist talks about that though. So if you don't talk about it, they're like, well, why didn't you talk about that? Why did you skip over that?
I've never had
So
anyone ask me that.
So it's kind of like, again, what Patty said though, kind of fill out personalities. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
you think you have a go-getter, then you're probably going to need to talk about it.
Exactly. Oh yeah,
But if
absolutely.
it's being covered in the first things first checklist and we're telling them to watch the videos, they're seeing that. You know, and if they have questions about it, they can ask. But I like the idea of just getting them set up with their launch party, doing your 200, and then we'll, you know, we'll cover the rest of it as you have questions.
Mhm. I just think it's less pressure, and I also think that you know, like it really is a lot with personality. I mean, I have one girl that started what in 4 days she was certified. Like that's crazy, you know, and she her sponsor handled it all, did it all, and you know, I messaged her just to say, "Well, you're doing great." And yeah, Shannon's a great leader. Shannon did the video with me. You know, we met on Zoom, and that made me feel good because it was like right away I knew that my systems were being passed down and they're working. So
Yeah, and doesn't it make you feel good when you have somebody who, like, you know, that initial fire, that ignorance is bliss, when I hear Anne-Marie talking and saying, you know, like, I had no idea what I was doing, and you sold $1,800 in a month. And the same thing with Patty. Patty's like, I had no idea what I was doing, but you know, she's hitting all these milestones and these numbers. It makes you feel good when you see that somebody's doing that, you know, consistently, and you know that it's your systems that are working to get that
right.
done. So
I tell Anne Marie all the time. She is like she reminds me of me.
yeah.
Her numbers, everything, you know, not realizing how well she's doing and like
Well, and
all of
we
it.
all do that, Patty. I mean, I'm like, oh my God, I so see you doing the way that I started out. You
Right,
know,
exactly.
in the
You said the
picture,
same
on
thing.
fire, just doing our thing, you know. And I mean,
Hmm.
and everybody has their own experience, but it's nice when you see somebody doing that and you know what the potential is. You get really excited when you know what the potential is, and you see that, you know. I mean, you know, we
Absolutely.
look at Anne Marie, and I'm like, you know, she could be at director the same as you are, you know.
Oh, I know she will be. I tell her all the time. I'm like, you know, you're going to be right here. But I mean, there's other things too that I do that I think are important as far as a team is concerned. You know, I try to keep my team page very active. I do challenges with my team, and I know, excuse me, I know that there's a whole lot of opinions about if you should or if you shouldn't. But for my team, it works. I think that they respond well to them, and I think they have fun doing them. And it's not humongous prizes, you know, it's more just the, oh, I have an entry, or oh, I hit this. And they're more the goals that I focus on, you know what I mean? So it keeps my team more of a team where I feel like we're all involved and we're all included. And wording is another huge thing. Like when you're doing, I hit my director's numbers for this month. We hit team numbers for this month. I include them in everything because my director's numbers, I didn't do that. You know, they did that. So why shouldn't they feel the pride and the excitement of, wow, we did this for 7 months in a row. You know what I mean? So there's a post every month. There's, you know, and I don't believe that they feel that I'm bragging because it's their work that I'm recognizing and thanking them for. And, you know, just that kind of interaction, I think makes a huge difference in what type of relationship you're going to have with your team and what results your team are going to achieve.
Well, and Patty, I think you do a really good job of, you've developed a culture on your team. And I think that
Hmm.
that's really important too. You have
Hmm.
to develop that culture early on. And I mean, it's really hard to go back. I'm trying now to do more of that and get more engagement on my team page. And some of the newer people are more engaged than the older people because, you know, I didn't do it that way before. And I'm finding, like you did with the weekly challenges, you know, and they don't have to be anything big. I mean, I do green by 15 every single month. I do green by 15, and guess what, If you are active by the 15th of the month, your name goes in a drawing and I do a $15 Amazon gift card.
There you
You
go.
know,
That's
it's not,
fun.
it's nothing that's big, you know what I mean? But it encourages people to front load their calendars and to get active early, you know, and then I can work on the other people who aren't active. And I try to make the challenges, you know, like Patty's doing, you know, I try and make the challenges. Now, Patty also does a lot of things where like she'll, you know, pit teams against one another or things like that. Her team is very competitive. Not all the teams are like that. We tried to do something with the team embrace leaders. So it was Jamie, Lauren, Patty, and myself, where we tried to do something where it was like a race. And it was like, you know, who's going to hit director numbers first? And Patty's team and my team initially responded great to it. Lauren's team and Jamie's team weren't about it. They were like, well, what? I'm not in a race with them, you know? And I mean, it just like, they didn't respond to it at all, you know? And Jamie was like, yeah, my team doesn't like that stuff, where Patty's team was like, we are going to beat them, you know? And I mean, so
It's the Philly, it's
matter
the
of
Philly in us.
knowing the culture of your team. And I mean, they were vicious about it. And like, I was going on the team page and like heckling them, you know, and things like that. So we sort of had fun in that respect, but it's knowing the culture that
Right.
you've developed on your team. And that's kind of, you know, the way that she's gone with it. So, you know, I mean, that's something too to keep in mind, you know, especially for early leaders. When you develop your own
Absolutely.
team page and you pull your team over, what's the culture that you want to have on your team? What is the feel that you want to have? What's going to help keep your team engaged? You know, some people never do any kind of incentives, just like, yeah, well, you're getting paid. That's your incentive, is you get a
Right.
commission check. But,
And
you know, I will say that those little team challenges are working. You know, and it's every
absolutely.
week I'm doing something else, you know,
Right. And you just
I
really
like to talk.
started doing them, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
because
they
it's been
really do,
successful for you.
right. And they really do help your numbers. I mean, and this is like, Amory, you're going to see one of your prizes, but this is how simple a prize can be. These little butterflies, can you see them? They are seeded and they grow wildflowers. On the back of this, I wrote, plant the butterflies, watch the beautiful flowers grow, just as you have grown your Scentsy business. And how much do you think this cost? And you put it in an envelope and you put a stamp on it and it's done, right? And this is one of the challenges I did. So you don't have to spend a fortune to do these. You know what I mean? But something like that, I mean, I thought it was cute. If you open that up and read that on the back, I think you would think like, oh, that's kind of cute. You know what I mean?
And it is. I mean, let's face it, you know, all of us like to get recognized. You know, I
Absolutely.
mean, the few times that like Sarah's not real big on sending out mail and stuff like that, but the few times that she's had, it made you feel really good. You know, because it wasn't all the time. So, you know, you felt really special when you got something, you know. Allison Dalkey, I'll never forget when I hit start. I just got this box that came in the mail full of confetti and like all these silly little things, but it made me feel so good, you know, and I was like, wow, this is really nice, you know. So, I mean, I think that you're right. It can be something that is very simple, but
That's from
doing
my superstar director.
see,
Yep.
see? I set out the director. No, so I started doing that. So I had those director well, I had the keychains. Can you hold that closer to camera, Patty? So I had these made for every level, starting at lead. And when you get paid a title, they're all different colors for each title. And when you get paid a title, the first time you get paid a title, you get one. See, Lauren's got her. So I sent them to all my directors. They all got paid a title last month. So everybody got one, you know, and I'm doing that with the rest of the team, trying to encourage people to get paid a title. But you have to get to a lead in order to get paid a title. I mean, you know, obviously you're certified consultant. There's no title that you're getting paid at. So it starts at lead, and I had them made for each level. So, you know, it's a little something. I mean, the girl who made them for me, I think I paid $6 for it.
Those are so cute.
I know, and aren't they adorable?
Thank
And
you.
I even have like one of the girls, and she's new. She's only been on our team for a month. She's not someone I signed up, but she came to me. She messaged me and was like, I'm going to be a director. And I said, and I'm going to help you get there. And she has signed up this month, I think 3 new people on her team. And she was like, I don't know, she wanted to, I think she hit lead, and I don't even know where she is, but I need them to sell $200 more. Like, I don't know how she figured her numbers out, whatever. And she did a challenge on a group chat with her team and got it. And I was just like, okay, so that's even going down the line. People are going to use what they want to use and not use what they don't want to use. But if it works, why not try it?
So can I just say something as like an outsider, like as you, my sponsor?
Yes.
You're not an
Um,
outsider.
And you're not an
No, not an
outsider.
outsider,
Not
but
an
I mean, like,
outsider.
no, but I mean, like, these are all, what you, okay, I'll take it back. I didn't mean it like that, but
How about a
I'm
newbie?
saying like, as being, part of Patty's team, as like her being my sponsor and her having that page, it's really fun and it's really encouraging. So she does post on there every morning. And she'll do something as simple as, like you said, Peg, like whoever hits 200 by whatever day, your name will go into a drawing and we'll spin the wheel or whatever. And it really does get you going, because you're like, oh my god, like I don't have to hit that 200, but I really want to try to get that 200 so I can go into this spinning wheel.
Yeah.
And then another thing I think is great about the team page is there's a lot of us on there now. So then when we bring someone in, we'll be like, woohoo, welcome to the team, to Peg Wilson. Thanks for joining us. And then everybody on our team page usually is like, yay, congratulations, welcome to the team. So then you really feel welcomed. And then you kind of really feel like you're part of the team, even though you just are signing on to, becoming a consultant. So it gives you encouragement, and it also is like informative, because Patty will post. I was like, Peg Patty. I couldn't get it.
What's my name?
It's been a long day. It's been a long day with the kids. But Patty will post things like, don't forget June 1st, the new warmer's coming out and the new scent, or, and here's the PVR breakdown and this is how much it costs, and go on your page. So it's an informative page, but it's good because it brings us like all together as a team. And it's just a really good thing if anyone was ever doubting about having the team page. But from me, what I meant was, as Patty's my sponsor and me being her, whatever you call me.
My front line. You're my front line.
Yeah, my front line. I don't know. I'm still learning
I
the ropes.
know.
It's a good thing to have, is what I'm just trying to say.
I agree.
Thank
I
you.
agree. Well,
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
since we're talking about welcoming, Joy just jumped in. Joy, hello, and welcome to.
Hi. Sorry, I'm muted. I have
Hi.
3 small babies, so they scream and holler when they want to. So I'm
Well,
going to be muted, but I'm here.
We have dogs that chime in. We have kids that chime in. This is life. This is
Exactly.
so.
Wait,
Joy,
do you have twins?
Yes, I have.
Already a rock star.
Yeah, I do have twins. I think I heard somebody ask that. I have one almost 2-year-olds.
And I have twins too.
Hey, teen twins.
Mine are almost 17, and just let them stay young. Let them stay young.
I was about to say, does it get any easier?
No, it does not.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
She has twin girls, right? What do you
Yeah.
have, Joy?
I have twin boys, and I have a 4-year-old girl.
Okay, I'll trade you.
Okay, I'm with it.
Teenage daughters are no fun.
Yes, babe. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, cutie? I'll put your camera on so we can see the cutie. I don't know if she heard me.
Wait, I have to fix my camera. Hold on, give me 1 second.
But I do love your picture. That dress is banging, girl.
Thank you.
This hot chick just popped on.
Why is your brother crying, Jordan?
I don't know. I think she's crying for daddy.
What?
Oh, we love it. We love it. We love when the families chime in and
Right.
make guest appearances. Okay, wait, there she goes on another screen. There we go.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Say hi.
How are you? What's your name?
What's your name?
Jordan.
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 Hi, Jordan.
I like to say
That's a
Jordan.
beautiful name. We're mommy's friends.
Yeah, they're mommy's friends. Say hi.
Hi.
Say it's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Thank you.
Cute.
Go check on your brother. See what's going on. Go check on your brother. I'll be right back.
Joy, I have a daughter named Jordan too.
Oh, see that? It is, you guys see, you're connected now.
Yep.
Can't get away. Twins and Jordan.
Right.
Love it, love it, love it. So, all right. So, I think all this is really good information. Does anybody have anything different that they do that they might want to add?
No, I just wish my team would like respond.
Yeah. It's hard to get people engaged. I think, especially when it's people who have been there for a while and you're trying to change the culture,
Yeah.
that's really hard. Like what I've been trying to do, and you might try and do this too, Kelly, reach out to some of the people that have been around for a while and ask them to help you get the team engaged. Like I've reached out to some of my people and said, look, somebody new just joined, and 2 people out of 80 have welcomed them. Come
Yeah.
on. Can you go
Another
out
thing
there
you
and
can
welcome
do
them?
too, I mean, not with just like welcoming, I wouldn't do it with that, but with other posts that you make, you can tag your teams.
Yeah.
Like if there's something important or there's a challenge that I put up, I tag all 54 of my people. And honestly, anyone in your group, they're the only people that are going to show up. Nobody else is going to show up on your tag. They're not all your friends are going to show up there or anything like that. So you literally can just go click, 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 click all the way down the list and hit send, and everybody on your team or everybody that's in that group will show up as a tag. And then they see it. They have to see it. So,
They
Yeah.
have to see it, but they don't have to say anything.
but usually if you tag them, they will.
Yeah, I literally
No.
will reach out to them individually, Kelly. I mean, I've done that where, I have my leaders are in I have a family page, and then I have a VIP page, which is really like my direct team. And then my group
Yeah.
page I kept as my family page. So I have Patty, Lauren, and Jamie in there. And I will message Patty, Lauren, and Jamie and say, I just made you all one word. You like that, Patty, Lauren, and Jamie? I made it all one word. That's that Philly thing. We just blend them all together.
Yeet.
It all became one word. But I will message them and ask them to, like, start commenting and getting some engagement going. Because sometimes people just don't. I mean, some people think if they just put like that's acceptable. And it's nice when you've joined a team. It's very nice to have people welcome you and comment on something you've posted. There's nothing worse than somebody posting out there and saying, I'm looking for such and such. Does anybody have it? And they get crickets.
Mhm.
Like respond no.
Right.
Just respond something so that that person knows that you've read it. And I mean, I think that that's really important for us to do. And it's funny because I actually belong to a networking group. And on the networking group, there was one girl who was an origami owl lady, and she actually asked in our networking group, "Can I add you guys to my group?" So that she played games and things like that, and asked us all to get in there. She did like a trivia thing, and really nobody was commenting. All the women from the networking group, there were like 10 of us that got in there, and we all started commenting, and then all of a sudden her customers started engaging. First
Mhm.
off, because the way the algorithms are with Facebook, the more comments, the more people that see it. I mean, the way that it's been explained to me is if there are 10 comments, then it shows up on people. People see it because the algorithms say, oh, 10 people commented, people must want to see that. I literally try to have conversations with people
Mhm.
Me
under
too.
the comments,
Me too.
because then it shows up and more people see it.
Yeah.
So I look at the little guy.
And just like you were saying, Peg, like with your VIPs, if you guys have a VIP page and you allow more than just your customers in there, sometimes your customers aren't even going to be seeing your post because you have
No,
so many
they
people in
won't.
the group. What?
They won't see them.
Right. So if you have so many people in your group and you have like 20 people who never bought from you, they're just in there because maybe you were in there from your launch party years ago, so you're taking it away from your customers seeing it too. So
Does that, Becca, tell us more about that. So if I have a customer loyalty group and I have 300 people in there and I have 200 people that never do anything, because it always seems like I have the same 10 people who are always commenting, or you know what I mean? And although, unless I play a game and I'm giving something away free, then they come out of the woodwork. I mean, people who haven't bought from me in a year, all of a sudden they show up to win a prize, which, it's really tough to, I can't tell them no, I mean, they're in the group, so I mean, and I wind up with people who never buy anything winning prizes, so I mean, do you think it's best to go through that group and take people out?
yes. I mean, I know that some people think, oh my gosh, but I'm going to post this one thing and that's going to be the time that they're going to want to buy. Sure, possibly, but it is hurting you because of the fact that you have 300 people and Facebook's not showing it to 300 people, especially if they don't like, comment ever, or if they don't go to your Facebook page. If they never go to your page, they're not going to ever see your post. So you have 100 people who are never going to buy. They may see your posts once in a while, but they're not liking, they're just scrolling by. It actually is then it's taking away from your other customers who could see them. So you do want people to engage, but like I have 82 people in my VIP. All of them are customers. That's all. They're consistent customers. I mean, yes, if you buy once, you can be in the group. But if you go 2-3 years without ever engaging or commenting on anything, I mean, I don't just post Scentsy stuff, then you probably should look at removing those people. But I have 82 and you can see how many people view. You can see how many people view. They may not like it, but you can at least see how many people it's actually showing to. And I have usually 75 people that see my post out of 82. Because
See, I have like 112 people in my group, my VIP group. And I would say maybe 40 of them see it.
How do
So
you tell who sees them?
you can click on view.
In the algorithms?
You can, when you post something, you can see, it'll say 82 views or whatever. You can click on 82 views and it'll show you who's all seen it.
Okay.
So then you can actually see, was it some of your customers or was it somebody that actually never, ever buys from you? So then you're like, okay, well, Facebook is showing it to them because they just randomly pick who they're going to show it to. Or maybe, you know, at one time they might have liked it or something.
Okay.
Like a long time
And
ago.
how do you see who views it? Like, how do you see the name?
In your VIP group, if you click on views, like I'll go.
It actually, it says like under the post, it'll say seen by so many
Oh yeah,
people,
that's it.
and
Yep.
then you hit it and
And then
show you.
it'll.
Say seen by.
And then it says, like,
Oh, okay. I
7
got it. Yep. I got
and
it.
then you can go through, yeah.
Yeah,
So
see,
you
this
kind of know
one,
who you're seeing, and if it's not your customers, then you might want to, if they've never bought. That's why
like
it's
this one,
you,
it has seen by 61 people.
Mhm.
But
Mine say
What-
post reach.
Mine says post reach too. I was just going to say that.
is
No.
yours, and yours is a group, a private group?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here, I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah. Oh, you got, okay.
Is it different from a computer than a phone, maybe? Are you looking on your phone or you're looking on your computer?
Look, so
My-
here,
My phone.
this says post reach 100 people. Can
Yeah,
you see that?
that's what mine says
This
too.
was 65.
Can you click on it?
So look, it reached 65 people, but
Yeah.
3 people liked it. See, but it doesn't tell me who those 65 people were.
How do you have this group set up?
It's set up as a group. I didn't know there was different.
A group or it says group, but it maybe is.
Is it internet or
No,
Chrome?
this is a group. This is on my computer.
Manage group.
I mean, it says private group.
Huh,
huh,
that's
Is
weird.
Peg,
Mine says
Peg,
that.
is this set up on your internet or your Chrome?
It
I'm
may
not sure
be
that matters.
I don't know.
Yeah.
maybe a specific amount of people because you have over 300 people. It may not show you how many, like who individually it is,
Yeah, how many
because you
people? I
have.
have 327 people in the group.
Yeah, I have like
I mean, the fact
250.
that reached.
I think
people.
if you're on your phone, because on my laptop, I see this too, the 100 posts reached. But if
Right.
I'm on my phone, I can see view and the number of people and click on that and see who viewed it. So it's
So what
two
does this
different.
mean when it says engaged? So it reached 100 people and it says 17 engaged, but you could see I got 3 hearts, 2 thumbs up, and 12 photo views. Active members at the time.
That's
of the post,
17, Peg.
76.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's 17. That's your engagement.
Yeah,
12 people looked at your
Oh, yeah,
pictures. 2
3
people
and
gave you a
12.
thumbs up. Yep.
yeah,
So but it
Patty's
says
right.
286 were active. Does that mean that they were just on Facebook? They weren't active on my page.
No, yeah, it's probably means active on Facebook.
Okay.
So that's another thing too, though. Yeah, you know, if you have 300 people, but you probably, you know, some people just were like, gave up on Facebook. They didn't shut their account down, but gave up. So they never are going to see your posts because
Right.
they moved away from Facebook.
Yeah, because this is pretty valuable, actually, just looking at the, yeah, so same 286 people, right?
You probably could go to their page and see when they were last, if some of them, if you're friends with, you could go to their page and see when the last time they were posted
Yeah,
something on their page.
all of these people would have to be my friend to get into this group.
They do?
Yeah, you have to be my friend for me to add you to the group.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, all of them are people that I invited.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, because I mean, look, so 99 people, this
I
post,
have people in my group that are not my friends.
oh, I don't, I mean,
Yeah, I have
think
a
you
private.
sent me the link.
Is your group private, Becca?
It was private.
That's why. If it's not private, then anyone can join it.
Well,
But
yeah,
if it's private, then you only can invite your friends to join it.
no, because mine's private and I have invited people that are not my friends.
Well, I don't know if you can invite, you can send them the link. Like you can
Right.
send them the link and
Yeah.
then.
Oh, sorry.
join
Yes.
that way. Right, where I just invite people. I haven't done it that way. But I'm looking,
Right.
I mean, it looks like the posts are reaching a lot of people, but that's just because it's reaching them, does that mean that they're seeing it? I mean, sometimes I tag people. Like there are certain ones I'm looking to see, like ones I tagged people in. So this one here, I tagged 54 people.
Okay, and how many people saw it?
It says 100, it reached 110.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's because like you have 5 comments, so that's pretty good. You have 110 people that saw it, you have 5 people. The more people that engage in it and comment, Facebook really loves people to comment versus liking, because then you're going to have interaction with them. But if you interact with them within an hour or less, they like that even more. So then they're going to start slowly, all of a sudden you could go from it seeing 70 to 100 because you start, someone will comment and it's like, oh, okay, this can show a little bit more.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to do things like, so this particular one, Wax Wednesday. So what you warming today, you know? I mean, and so it encourages engagement. I try asking questions, you know? Look, see, this one, yeah, I'll tell you, guys, if you're looking for something to get engagement, this one, who has a Costco's, BJ's, or Sam's membership? Somebody put this out on the director group. And what I did is I sent them a post. The ones who commented, you can see I got 17 answered it. So they didn't know what it was about, the 17 who answered it. But the ones who answered it, I messaged each one of these people individually and said to them, so Costco's, you spend, you know, I think it was $60 or $120 for a membership. You know, you basically spend $20 for your Scentsy membership and you get paid 20 or 25% back, where Costco's you pay $60 or $120 for an annual membership and you make 2% back. So I did it like, you know, like it was a club, and I actually got Linda joined my team from that post. You know, and she's like, oh, sign me up. And I said, so I sent her the link and she went, oh, this is to become a consultant. And I said, yeah, I said, it's kind of like your own membership where you're getting paid back on your own purchases, you know, and if you want to share it with your friends and your family, you'll get paid back on their purchases too. So that's kind of the way I presented it. And you could see I got a lot of engagement from that because I asked the question, you know, and a lot of people saw it. So I'm interested in like looking at these insights. I'm like,
Yeah. And like, even if you private message them, I'd still go on here and comment something. I'd either comment saying, you know, you liked it, and then comment saying, you know, hey, I sent you a message or something, so that Facebook knows that you're still engaging with them, because that did reach 127. But had you engaged with them, it might have even reached a few more.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did. A couple of the people I said sent you a direct message, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
responded back to them. Yeah.
And it's always good, like I said, within the hour. I don't know what it is about it, but they have like a 60-minute time frame. They love to see it within 60 minutes of you commenting. So if you're one that, you know, prepares your post, try to make it around your lunch hour or break where you can check in to see if someone's commented.
Yeah. And I've even had my family members, I've gotten my sister and my mother, when I'm looking for some engagement for something, I'll have a conversation with my sister underneath in the comments in the posts. She'll ask me questions. I'll answer a question. She'll answer, you know, me back. I've even texted her and told her what to say, you know, and then I'll comment back, so that it just keeps, you know, it's the only way that you can get the algorithms going. I'd prefer it happen organically, but when it doesn't always, we make it happen.
Yeah, it's good. Sometimes you gotta like your own post.
Yeah, right, right. It's not exactly authenticity, but it's engagement. It's getting it going.
Yeah, it's just reaching those people that are truly your customers that would benefit from seeing your posts.
Right, right, right. So that's good. Good stuff. So does anybody have anything to add? Any questions about what we talked about tonight? Patty, great job showing us all the onboarding. What the funny part is it seems so simple. It's so simple, but yet,
Well,
you're
that's
not-
what I kept saying. It's all so basic, and like, I kind of am surprised, I guess, that it wasn't implemented before now, that it wasn't something that, not that I'm saying like, oh, I know best. I don't. I'm learning every single day. But I think, like, I know, like, if I would have done this with the people that I first signed up that are now sitting they might not be sitting there at 0 a year later. And that bothers me. You know what I mean? Because if I would have known better, I could have done better for them. And
Yeah.
for something that takes 15 minutes, and if you have 3 people that signed up, you could do them all together.
right,
You
right.
know what I mean? So it's like,
Well, I will tell you, Patty, it's different schools of thought. And I know that
oh, absolutely.
when I was learning, I was told to stop hand holding. I was too much of a hand holder. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of superstar directors that feel that way, that you shouldn't have to hand hold, that basically the training is provided and it's their own business and let them go,
No, I've had some people tell me things like that, or tell me that I shouldn't do this, or it should, everything's on your workstation. I've come across that.
Yeah.
But like I said, and my whole thing always will go back to when you all did your businesses, it was completely different than when I started.
Yeah.
I didn't have forms. I mean, I had them, but I didn't use them. I don't know how many people go back to just having the forms that you filled out. I never did house parties. Everything with this has been online for me. So it's a completely different perspective. And right now, as I said before, I'm at that crossroads where do I go next? Like you guys were a year ago when COVID hit. So,
Only the COVID consultants.
yeah, we're the Scentsy COVID babies. But
Consultants are, and it is. I mean, it's a totally different. We had to learn the new way to do things, and now you guys, when things are opening up, are learning the way that we learn. So it's a whole new set of learning tools for you. Where we're like, oh, doing it the old way, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The old way is everything's online. What do you mean the old way? This is the only way I know.
And I was actually thinking about it the other day. I forget who it was. I think it was Dijon on Sunday said when people would have their house party, their sponsor would go out with them for their first house party. What is the difference from what yous all did at house parties than what I'm doing now?
Right.
Because when they would get their orders, didn't you have to sit down with them and show them how to take an order or how to write it out or how to add the tax, or like, there's no difference except I'm doing the whole online thing.
Right.
Where yous would use, that's a Philly thing, where you all would, sit at the party with them and explain and go through taking the orders with them. So it's really the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, really, it is. It is. And I mean, that's where I think the last 2 weeks, the training was really valuable for the people who have never done a house party and have never sat down and wrote out an order. I mean, it's funny because I've already had consultants that were in for a month or two and said, like, well, what is this, this party? It's $800. And what do I do with it? And I'm like, oh, you didn't close that party, because they didn't know, they didn't know, and they've never taken an order. And then they're like, somebody gave me an order and they want me to put it in for them. How do I do that? Where we all are used to that. We're used to putting it in with a party order, or, now a lot of people are doing it, putting it in as an individual order and having it shipped directly to the customer. That all was, for us, that was the norm, and it's not now. So it needs to be taught. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right. We will end the meeting if nobody has anything else to add. Joy, you have any questions?
No, so far so good.
Okay. All right. Well, if you need anything, to reach out, reach out to Candace, reach out to me, reach out to Stephanie.
Absolutely.
You have a whole
Thank
line.
you. I appreciate it.
And this training, just so you know, this training goes on every Tuesday.
Mhm.
And we do record it. We have a YouTube channel, so we'll post the link to the, on the YouTube channel each
Okay.
week. So if you want to watch back any of the other trainings, you can do
Perfect.
that. Okay?
Sounds good to me. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thanks for
too.
jumping on.
No problem.
Signing off.